It's my pleasure to have a comment or two about the senior projects. Each year they get better and better, and this year was no exception. The senior projects give our students a chance to demonstrate that they have a grasp of business strategy, how to write a business plan, a marketing plan, an individual and interactive branding plan, and some kind of technology component for a real business. We know that businesses want to either make money or save money, and our students go out, find a business that is in need of one of those strategies, and then develop a business plan or one of the other plans that I had mentioned for these clients. And then over 18 weeks, they work with professors, mentors, other people at the school, other professors, to develop these milestones. And as you see from the display posters, they create these projects, and then today, Senior Project Day, is their opportunity to present the final milestone. So we're very proud of these students, and as I said, each year they set the bar higher and higher.
Honestly. Good morning. My name is Jen. I'm from the local Untitled Chapter. Can you spell your name for me? Or are you in the town? What town do you live in?
I live in New Brunswick.
New Brunswick? I'm sorry?
I live in Somerset, Franklin Park.
Can you tell me a little bit about your project?
To summarize, it's a web-based employee management system. The focus was to build a timesheet system where employees can enter in their work hours for their daily work schedule and things like that. Their old system was an Excel-based system. It was paper. It was clunky and annoying, and they wanted to have a web-based one that was more efficient and easy to use, graphically, aesthetically pleasing, and that's what we did for them.
Can I see it? Are you able to pull it up?
Sure, yeah, I can do that. One of the main things that we wanted to do with the project is to make sure that it was expandable, something that they can turn into everything once. So we made it very pluggable. It's easy to navigate. It had two elements in there for sitemap and a navigation bar across the top. You can add your users. The interface is very easy to use. It's very laid out and friendly. Filling in the timesheets is probably the main focus of the project.
So do they sell this to other companies, or are they their own company and they're just using
No, they're
this?
their own company they're using.
So what exactly do they do?
They're a geotechnical
instrumentation provider.
It's an instrumentation company. They monitor ground movements and things like that in construction sites, and basically make sure that the sites are safe. Some of the projects they're working on are the World Trade Center project, East Side Access, things like that.
So why was this something that they needed so badly?
Their old system was just very. Do we have a picture? Yeah. It's just very clunky and difficult to use. It was
It's paper-based.
yeah, it's paper-based. And
Basically, multiple employees in the field had to, submit it either via email or wait for them to get to the office. So they have one person trying to collect all the information and then trying to process that for payroll, which accounted for various discrepancies because the time is billed to their customers, to their specific clients, the time that the technician is using the field. So if the technician doesn't report a proper time, then they're billing in the proper amount of time to the customers. This is basically how it looks. This is it's paper-based.
So what was it like to work for an actual company? Issues that arise,
I was here first.
I think it was a very valuable
I was actually
experience.
the first person in this whole place.
I found it quite enjoyable,
They were just opening the doors
but
when I walked
frustrating
in.
at times.
Were you here at 7? Yeah,
Wow.
because I wanted to make, well, not 7, I was here like shortly after 7. Actually, because I wanted to make sure.
What skills did you learn
my
while
team
doing
would be here
this?
by, we were supposed to
On
be
the
by.
project
Management.
time schedule,
I wanted to make, we needed to go through the.
keeping track of other people's projects and make sure that it's on time.
We're winning.
She's not afraid to tell you what she wants to
We're
say.
winning.
We also learn rapid application development, implemented agile technologies for software development,
When it comes to five,
which are based
those
on
are all for sale. That one, the Gucci,
developing
the jewelry.
modules or units every 2 weeks, testing them and presenting them to the sponsor in this case. So they were signing off every 2 weeks on the progress of the project itself.
Thank you very much. Good luck to all of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
What was that? The Wang Technology Employee Management System Development Team. we don't really have a team name, just kind of went with it.
Imagine where, let's say, how do I do a software development lifecycle? How do I get that software done correctly? What do I need to do if it's issues with the software? So that hands-on experience helped me tremendously to get to where I'm at, which is the head of development in our company. And also communications. Here at Devry helped me tremendously. And all different professors are amazing because they walk you through, they help you to any challenges that you have while you're in school. And that's what prepared me for a workforce. And other thing is working with the teams, being in a team environment helps a lot. Team building experiences is amazing in Devry.
Did you do a senior showcase project when you were here?
I did. I was actually, when I graduated, New Jersey Devry did not have bachelor's, so I went to Phoenix to get my final degree in bachelor's, and I did a senior project there. We didn't have a showcase like this at that time. This was a while ago, but yeah, I did a senior project. It was a real life project, so that helped a lot of understanding what a real company wants when you're just doing a test. It's a little bit different when it's a real life product that you're working on.
And what will you speak about during your speech today?
Just my experience on how Devry has helped me, and just talk about a little bit about what I do, and give some insights on what's new in technologies and what people should be thinking about going forward. And mostly it's about my life at Devry.
If you could share one piece of advice with the students today, what would that be?
That's hard, but I would say work hard, and especially now that we're in a global market, think differently. And as long as you work hard, I think you'll succeed. And that's one of the things I'm going to convey. And I think the RISE experience will help them going forward, which they won't realize today. They'll realize 3 years, 5 years, 10 years later.
Thank you very much. It's nice to meet you. Thank you.
Organization for Sierra Leoneans, partner with other organizations to allow for them to create an umbrella. That umbrella would then develop a future physical site or a physical location that they can work out of, so that they can offer more services along with the ones that they already have, which are outreach, our immigration program, English as a second language, along with, I believe, trying to think of the other ones off the top of my head. Immigration control and immigration across from Sierra Leone.
I like the service.
So what we wanted to do, we basically put together a promotional plan, includes advertising flyers, a door hanger, along with a schedule of execution. Very low funds because it's a not-for-profit organization and they're looking to gain that exposure. So our main focus was to have something at a low cost, something that they could execute with normal dollars that's not coming out of anyone's pocket too much. So with that, we got flyers, we have door hangers, business cards for the board members, and a website, which is currently not working at the moment. But,
That's all right, it happens. How about, did you integrate any kind of social media with it?
yes, Facebook and Twitter. There's 2 Facebook and Twitter accounts that were started. That's actually ongoing. It's been one of the first things we recommended because it was cheap. It's free.
Cheap and it can get to mass media much faster.
Exactly.
Rather than walking around with paper.
Yeah. So, but we have door hangers for just basic general information, and we have specific event door hangers, which is going to be focused in the Staten Island area, the Heartland Village area of Staten Island to be exact.
That's my lemon tree.
So what did you think about like the experience that you had?
It was good. Believe it or not, it was one of those things that I didn't realize that there was such a need for cultural organizations in the area of New York City. When we did a lot of the benchmarking of the other companies and saw there's No Selena and there's FOSL, which is groups that are doing the same thing, we realized there was a lot of effort and focus being put towards creating cultural groups, and it was just exciting to be a part of. So making the relationships, meeting the sponsors, meeting the board members, it was fun, and it was very interesting too, just to see how a not-for-profit can strive to make more, to do more, to bring more together. Normally not-for-profits are really just trying to do their cause and their cause alone. USLO is trying to bring multiple causes together to work as one. So.
That's great. Yeah, well, good job. That looks pretty interesting. So are they live, or are we going live soon?
The website's live. The actual site is the engine is down. What's it called? The hosting company. It's actually down, but the website's fully functioning. Facebook and Twitter have been up for a couple of months actually, along with the flyers and the door hangers. Hopefully next month or so we'll be able to get those out.
That's great. Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're trying to build it as a networking event for our local business environments. Thank you for coming. Oh, you're very welcome. I enjoy it. It makes them feel more special. Well, thank you.
And we also did an interior design proposal. Okay. So we added a couple extra components to the IVP campaign and the technical documentation.
Now, when you say interior design, you mean of the shop itself? Of the showroom, and do they allow you to do that? Because typically that's done from their home office, or the franchisor does that. Or...
Well, with Super Steve's Paints, there's about 15 locations, but they're owned in a co-op. Okay. So they're all separate ownership. So they have combined buying power, but technically each location is run as its own entity.
I see. So they have the freedom then to brand as they like. So tell me more.
So we started out basically assigning tasks on people's strengths. So Maria started with the marketing plan. Her analysis of the industry led us to basically decide that we wanted to target residential traffic. So that turned us into our branding and our IVP campaign. So we started with our business flyer here with like a 10% offer, the address, and a couple of their projects down there.
Okay, came out great.
Yeah, Maria did most of the designing for that. And then we went into like our website design where Igor took over, designed all the tasks here.
Do you have the website on the computer that we can look at it?
I have my laptop in the car. I should have brought it in.
You should do that.
Yeah, I'll go grab it.
Yeah, do that. Yeah. I'll come back and see that.
Okay.
Yeah.
The solution description, what we came out with was our IVP campaign just came out with an extra component, the interior design campaign. Okay. But with the advertising, public relations, direct marketing, and web campaign, basically aimed at promoting the new interior design that we came up with. And in addition with the technical documentation, we also did like a whole inventory overhaul, which involved us going in and physically counting inventory for them and seeing if it checked out in the system. Yeah, it was a lot of work. And so, you know, we came out with a lot of different results. A lot of stuff was missing. There were a lot of discrepancies with the system. So
That's unbelievable.
and then we recommended a new inventory system for them, which we gave them a couple different options for them to choose from. So our you know, in the future, we recommend for them to conduct a new marketing plan annually to stay up with the times. We're going to be recommending billboard, radio, and TV ads to expand on that. We wanted to add like an e-commerce ability to the website, but we didn't have the know-how within our team of how to do that.
Yeah, well, you did the groundwork for them because if their inventory was not as it should have been, they could not have done that anyway.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
You had to do that first. So. It's beautiful, very nice.
Yeah, in the future we also want them to redesign the whole exterior of the store with new signs outside and painting the outside and just jazz it up.
How pleased is your sponsor with your project?
I
They
think
like
the
it?
sponsor is like, I would say like 99% pleased, yeah.
Okay.
So excited. And the sponsor was very helpful to us all along the way.
Good.
I think we tackled exactly what the sponsor wanted us to.
Good. Is the sponsor going to be here today?
Fortunately, she couldn't make it. She
Okay.
has meetings all day.
All right. Okay. Well, great. When do you present? This afternoon, right?
Yes.
Nervous?
Yeah, I think we're like one of the last groups to go though, so we get everyone else to go before
Yeah, we
us.
already had so many presentations that I think we're not nervous anymore.
I think we're more like
We had
we're
Should
more
be a little bit
excited.
nervous.
We're more like happy.
Just be a little bit nervous.
Okay.
Not a lot nervous. Just be a little bit nervous. You'll do better if you're a little bit nervous.
Should we cry? Just joking.
No, this is be proud of this. This is wonderful. Very good. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Good. Let me give you a card in case you need anything. And you guys want a letter of recommendation or something, you might need that. And, good job. Good job presenting too.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Take care. Good job. Good job.
Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is David. These are my group members. This here is Anthony. This here is Julio. The name of our project is called Safety Security Control System. Basically, we have motion detectors that detect movement. When it detects movement, the buzzer sounds. We also have an LCD display which displays what's happening, which alarm is on and off. And you can also monitor what's happening through a user interface via a camera that's set up at your house. So as you can see here, you can see what's happening in your home, and you can move the camera around. As you can see there. So it's a pretty interesting project and how it works. Plus, this is a system. This is a system that's extremely affordable. You only purchase it once, and it's easy to install, easy to manage, and it's a lot better than systems, other security systems that are out there, such as ADT or Sloman's. So I think this is a very ideal project, or a very ideal system for people out there. Well, yes, we hope to soon. There are a few things we would like to work on, but yeah, I think this would be ideal for the market. So, any questions? Any other questions?
Yes, the question that you asked, it's already in the market, but what brings our system apart is because it's cheap and you can be able to manage by yourself. You don't have to you don't have to call ADT to come and monitor it, to come and manage it for you. So that's what makes our system so unique compared to the others that are in the market.
What is more important about this program and this project is that you already have the internet, so you don't have to purchase any other components. So you supply whatever you have in your house, and you make it work with this project. So ideally, it's going to be nice and cheaper. So people can afford it instead of doing any contracts with the companies. That's the key.
So what did you do?
Basically, it's a data acquisition system that, based on fleet vehicle size in public and private companies that require automobiles or fleets of automobiles. It allows the business a way of in-house tracking those vehicles, viewing maximum, minimum speeds, idle times, and so forth, so that they can protect their property, and manage their property, manage their employees while they're out in the field or whatever they're doing. They can see where their vehicles are.
So this would be like sales for fleet of cars and
repair, stuff like that. It really could be anything from a taxi service. Anybody who requires their employees to go out in the field.
So what is this mostly? What business problem would mostly solve? Security problem, cost problem,
productivity problem. To ensure, especially with larger fleets, if you're upwards 20, 30 vehicles, it's hard to keep track of, your employees and people using your private property, to maybe stop back at their house or go see their friend. You're just ensuring that they're going out on the calls that they say they're going out on, that you can manage where all these vehicles, because that's just maybe 5 or 6 vehicles on that map, but if you have 20, 30 vehicles, there's really no feasible way for you to manage that fleet of vehicles and manage what they're doing. The top speeds and the actual data that's recorded also allows you to protect your image by not having, drivers drive around at 89 miles an hour,
or be at places where they couldn't be, or drive recklessly.
Exactly. And that alone, we've seen, advanced models and people that have implemented systems like this. A lot of these people, they're using their vehicles. Maybe they're stopping at Walmart to grab milk on the way home, or anything little like that that can really take a chunk, out of gas money, out of, times. Exactly.
Technically, how does it work?
Well, basically, it grabs a satellite connection for the GPS, and it transmits the GPS, then sends everything to the microcontroller, which then saves it to the SD card. The other 2 devices on here don't require any type of external connection because it's a gyro and an accelerometer, so they work all in one. They don't need an antenna or anything. And everything will transmit to the actual microcontroller, and then the microcontroller will format the data and save it to the SD card for easy access. So, at the end of the day, the driver can go into each one of his cars, pull out the SD card, and find out exactly what their employee was doing for the entire
black box on the airplane.
Yes, exactly.
So what was the inspiration for this project? You had to come up with an idea. So.
I don't know. We were thinking, what is out there that can be done but that hasn't been applied much. Really, there's maybe a couple different things you can get for this, but really there's nothing like this all-inclusive with all these different sensors and stuff. And also it's any user can use it. This could be public or private. Maybe some mother that is unsure what their kids are doing can just put this in their car and then they'll know what they're doing.
Right. Or a jealous spouse.
Yeah. The idea sort of evolved also. When we were first throwing around ideas, we wanted a system that maybe was more focused on safety, more focused on, accident reports and having viable information for insurance companies. So when an accident occurs, it's always, 2 people pointing the finger at each other and lying about the speeds that were involved and stuff of that nature. So it started off more as, with all these sensors and technology, we can have viable information that can be verified to propose to these companies or to defend, or when it comes to the legal aspects, because companies are liable for their drivers and for their vehicles.
you don't have a sponsor? Do you have a sponsor, or you're just doing this as a?
No sponsor.
It's for the pure scientific and technological value. Which of your courses were most helpful to you? You didn't arrive at Devry knowing how to do this, right?
No, of course not.
So which courses were most helpful in getting into this?
Well, you know, there's a lot of them, you know, maybe even up to 10 different courses, because there's a whole bunch of different courses that talk about sensors, and then there's a bunch of courses that talk about microcontrollers. So altogether, you know, maybe it could be up to 10 different courses that contributed to the whole understanding.
Okay, so
there's two, in my mind, there's two main subcategories. One is the microprocessor architecture and the microcontroller and working with stuff like that, which I believe is ECT 330, 340, 365. Some of the later courses that we've taken definitely into our senior year. And then for me, I found very valuable the ECT 390 course, which was focused on product development, which really goes into depth on proposals and the different avenues that you would have to take in the real world to propose ideas, you know, and the different aspects involved in that. I found that really valuable because anybody can have a good idea, but having the right tools to implement the idea can sometimes make or break whether or not that you're going to go to the next step.
Who taught that course?
Professor Mortensen taught our course on product development, and Professor Wang taught all of our courses because they go on the same.
Very nice, very nice. I'm proud of you. This is quite incredible.
Thank you.
Yeah. How do you like it? Are you happy?
Oh, yeah.
Should be, yeah.
Very happy.
I'm stunned.
You deserve to be. Yeah.
Okay, Lisa Rogers. I'm with Central Jersey Catering, and my team was go to cjc.com, and it's my company. It's a catering company, and they did a phenomenal job. My website was basically a very plain website. There was no interaction with a customer, and what the team actually did was able to take my requirements. They built a website that not only met my needs, but my clients' needs. And they did a beautiful job. And from walking around and seeing what some of the other teams have done, it's a huge accomplishment. Coming from the business world, I worked 22 years at American Express, seeing some of this work. Devry really needs to get out to the corporate communities and show this work because it's really very, very good. So thank you for the opportunity working with you. I appreciate it.
If I may ask, sure. How did you meet the team?
How did I find this?
Yes. My name is Ahmed. I'm one of the students, and also I'm the project manager for this team right here. How did you and your team meet in the first place?
Well, actually, I was meeting with a client at the Princeton Elks, and I just see them next door as well. And he and I spoke about me bringing in catering to the Princeton Elks, and he had mentioned, we got, through the discussion, a thread of discussion. He told me about how he was able to have his website built by Devry. So what I did was I contacted the IT professor, Dawn. She and I communicated, and we found out that there was a senior project that was needed, and that's how I found out about it. So it would be wonderful if there was a different level of advertising that Devry could bring to the community, the companies within the community, as to how you can help us and how we can help you. That's how I found out.
So meaning, if there's any way we can go on the local news media to let them know if you contact Devry, the network is how we can provide services for you, and then also how the community can help Devry students further their services and their careers.
Absolutely. If there's a way not only to get to the media, but the different level of industries.
Right.
There's so many industries here in North Brunswick, East Brunswick, South Brunswick. How can Devry help those different companies, not just through paper media? There's got to be a different level of marketing probably that has to occur. I think it would be fantastic because so far what I've seen is really very, very good.
Awesome. And do you think actually say Devry go out, say we have not only a job fair, we having a fair for all the community business people to come to the school.
Yes.
That way they can learn what
to
Devry
see what
offers.
you offer and how you've helped a company.
And then for them to know that we can provide the same services to other people.
Absolutely.
And, so that
because this was a tremendous help to me, because as a small business owner, it's very difficult to have the funds available to build a website. You want the website because that's the way you need to go, but you need the funds available to do that. So by having this, it's really a win-win.
Well, I want to thank you again very much for taking the time.
And yours is fantastic. Good luck with Sierra Leone.
Thank you.
I really need.
At this time, I would like to introduce you to the president of the Devry, New Jersey campuses, Dr. Chris Greenson.
Thank you, John, and welcome to our February Senior Project event. Thank you to all the groups who were so kind and patient with me and answered all of my silly questions, and I told a couple of them, explain it as you would to a third grader, so they dumbed it down for me quite a bit. But how impressive are these projects? I mean, all of you have seen advertisements for colleges, and they're all the same. We have small classes, the teachers are friendly, there are sports, and ivy grows on the walls, and but no one ever says students learn something. And what I love about Senior Project Day, and the 3 favorite days of the year for me really are, let me put my paper down, this is the first sin of bad public speaking, is holding the paper. But, and not to be behind the podium. So, you know, the 3 favorite days of the year for me are the 3 Senior Projects days, in the fall, in the spring, and in the summer. I hesitate to say this, but I like them even more than Graduation Day, because this is the day when we affirm that we are achieving our mission. Our students actually know how to do something when they graduate, and not just anything, they know how to harness technology, solve business problems, and do well by doing good. One of the groups that was so kind to host me is actually doing a project for a not-for-profit organization that works with disabled adults who are looking for work. And I was just talking with Professor Bahir Masadeh, and he said this very same thing that I was thinking when I met with all of you. He used the word sophisticated. He said, these projects are so sophisticated. And every time I experience this event, I say the same thing to students, that this is the sort of thing you expect from graduate students, people who are doing their master's or their PhD. You don't expect this at the baccalaureate level. These websites work. You can order products through them. I would challenge any college in the United States to hold an event like this that showcases the ability of its graduates to actually hit the ground running and help organizations to solve real business problems. What a tribute to you, to your intelligence and your hard work and your resourcefulness, and what a tribute to our faculty. And let's have a big hand for our professors. You know, I asked each one of the groups, I think I did anyway, a couple of questions. I asked you, did you know how to do this when you enrolled at Devry? And you were all honest, and you said no, I didn't know how to do this. And I said, I asked, who taught you to do this? And you named certain professors, and you named certain courses that were so helpful to you. There are a few faculty, it's our entire faculty really that has brought you to this place. Our liberal arts and sciences faculty really don't get enough credit for what they've done to make you good communicators. Because one of the things that impressed me as I walked around was how well you spoke, how articulate you were, how concise these presentations were, the eye contact, the way you're dressed. You've learned a lot in your liberal arts classes, but you've also learned a lot in your business and technology classes. A special tribute to a couple of people, to Crystal for all her hard work on this event. Crystal. Linda McCarry from Career Services. Linda, welcome. Ankit Patel. Ankit, are you around? Okay, thank you, Ankit, for all of your hard work. To our videographer, who is making me feel like a diva today because he's photographing me. Good work, and nice camera. How many people have a camera like that, right? And a special thanks to some of our faculty members, to Dr. John Weber, to Dr. Xiaoying Wang, Dr. Bhupinder Saran, where are you? Dr. Michael Faulkner, where's Mike? Professor Don Rywell. And last but not least, the person whose idea this event was so many years ago, who worked so hard on it, and that's Dr. Debbie Hellman. I have a very special surprise for you. You're going to like this a lot. This is from the New Jersey legislature, and I'm going to, it's a very beautiful citation from the Assembly and the Senate. And I'm going to read it to you, and then each one of you who has been part of the senior project team is going to receive one of these citations, personalized citations, suitable for framing or magnetizing to your refrigerator. with your name on it, and it says, the State of New Jersey Senate and General Assembly citation, commendations and praise are extended to, in this case it's Darrell Harris. Where's Darrell Harris? All right, yeah, then I'm going to read yours. By the citizenry of the 19th New Jersey Legislative District, through their elected representatives, for bringing honor to himself and pride to his family and community, for the New Jersey Women's Center Entrepreneurship Corporation, which I'm hoping is your sponsor, as a graduating senior from Devry University 2011, and it is hand-signed by Assemblyman John Wisniewski, by Assemblyman Craig Coughlin, and by Senator Joseph Vitale. So each one of you will be receiving a citation like this from the faculty. There's lunch behind that wall, so I'm going to accelerate a little bit here. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, who is a distinguished alumnus of Devry University. And I'm very pleased to introduce to you Nilesh, or Nish, as we call him, Shaw, Chief Technology Officer of Integrated Media Management. Nish is Chief Technology Officer for Integrated Media Management. He joined the company in 2000. He leads their strategic technology and architecture direction and manages product technical definition, design, and development. He has more than 15 years of experience in software systems and networking technology. His previous position was systems analyst and workflow consultant to various Fortune 500 companies, including Pfizer and Panasonic, with a concentration on automating business processes. Along with his extensive experience, Shaw has received several awards, published in credit union magazines, including the Silver Award for Electronic Forms on the top 100 new products from Business Forms, Labels, and Systems. Ms. Shaw holds a bachelor's in computer information systems from, at the time, Devry Institute of Technology, now Devry University in Phoenix, Arizona. There was a time when we did not grant bachelor's degrees here, so our associate degree students would actually have to migrate out to Phoenix or another one of our schools to receive the bachelor's degree. Shaw also serves as a committee member of the Indo-American Cultural Foundation of Central New Jersey, and he is really a loyal and distinguished alumnus. It gives me great pleasure to introduce him, and thank you very much, Nish. Where are you, Nish?
Thank you. I am going to stay behind the podium because I have an iPad I'm going to read from. Sorry about that. Well, thank you. It's a great honor for me to be here as an alumnus. In front of all the professors, staff, also the students, and industry guests, everybody else that's here, that's peers in the computer side as well as the networking and other industries. As you just mentioned, that I graduated in 1994. I've been around for a while at least, and graduated from Phoenix. Lived in New Jersey forever, and as well when I graduated from Phoenix, I decided, well, what should I do? Should I stay in Phoenix, come back? And of course, my family's here. So by the time I actually graduated, I already had a couple interviews lined up through Devry Phoenix. And when I came back, I accepted my first position as a network guy. And because I wasn't sure what I really wanted to do, and e-forms analyst, and in programming, something that I said, let's figure out if this really makes sense for me. Is it in networking side? Is it in programming? Is it in just a project and business analyst? It was quite a challenging for me. First of all, I do want to say Devry. Let me back up. When Devry welcomed me in 1991. Open arms, because I had no idea what I really wanted to do. And I do thank Devry for that, because that first day when I walked in, made me feel very comfortable in a setting that said, you know what, you don't have to be afraid about what's out there. We'll teach you everything that's appropriate in the world. And that was important to me at that time, especially when now that I can think about it, I did waste one of my years in a county college playing around, goofed off a little bit, so it was important to me at that time. And my best friend actually dragged me here and said, you know what, let's try it. And it was important for me and my parents to have a bachelor's degree or a degree that's in, especially when I came from an education background family. So on my first trimester at Devry, I quickly learned that the software programming was very important to me, and I spent as much time as I can learning any technology that was given to me, just playing around. And being a hands-on guy, I did not read well. Some of the professors know that for sure, but the hands-on experience helped me tremendously for all the knowledge that I have right now. And Devry is what gave me that knowledge from a hands-on experience itself. That experience, I would say, helped in many ways, especially in interacting with peers, other students, professors. At that time, other folks came in just like today, and we were interact to understand what's out there in the industry as well. So being part of that Devry experience, I took part in the Devry experience, is unique in the industry. As you said, that what I'm seeing here is nowhere out there, and that is truly amazing, and especially everybody that's here, you should be proud of that you are part of Devry. A couple of my favorite classes. I am going to talk about just some classes that were favorite and it helps here. Systems analysis class was great for me. Communications, at least that allowed me to at least stand up here and talk to you. And most important, senior project, and that's what we're here for. I still talk about the project that I worked on in my systems analysis class. But what helped me there was the entire software development lifecycle. Well, how did we do that? Well, of course, as you all did in your senior project, gone through from interviewing as well as writing the specs and doing the work. What we did a little bit differently in my systems analysis partner and I, we actually created, I don't know if you remember, but 27-second 3D, it was called 3D Studios, the same software that was used in Jurassic Park movie, the animated movie. So we used that. It took on my, so don't laugh, 386-33 computer, 3.5 days to render a 27-second video, which was very important to us because we wanted to showcase something unique. And we did, needless to say, got a great grade, so I'm happy about that. Or we were happy about that as well at that time. And I still have those original floppies that I also all that in there. It's still saved up, put it away for future. Just so I have memory of my Devry experience, my systems analysis class, which was very important to me. The communication class was challenging, absolutely, because when you're starting out, you want to learn how to talk, how to write, how to communicate, how to dress. It does everything about you, how you speak. It does say a little bit about yourself on top of what you know from a knowledge perspective. And of course, the senior project. That was my time to show my parents what they were spending money on, and what I also show the real world that, you know what, I'm ready for whatever's about to come when I'm graduating. So the project that we worked on was a real life project, which I saw here, pretty much similar. It was a report pack software, a report pack for accounting software. And I met with our team leads, with the project sponsor, and talked to them, interviewed them, understood the pain points that they have. Why did they really want to have those report packs and not just create random reports? And we put together a project plan as well as the entire code, the database architecture side, how to understand all those things. And then we actually did the work. In about 3 months or so, they actually started selling that report pack as a component of their product line, which was a great accomplishment. Of course, I didn't get anything out of it, but that's okay. I got the experience, which is very important. So that experience alone, like I heard before, it's very hard to get anywhere else. So this is the only place at Devry you can get that experience, which is interaction with everybody else with the senior project process. So as I was walking around, I gotta tell you, I'm very proud of Devry and Devry students. So what you guys are showing today to the industry folks that are here as well, including myself, that says you are ready for real world. You guys spent a lot of time. I'm sure it was not easy. Some of you have jobs. You have to struggle between the team members if they're working. So what you showed, and some projects, I didn't almost go through every one of them, but the one that stands out for me is the car black box. That was great, and as well as the websites that were developed for multiple systems, and the technologies that you guys used, what's available to you, and you kept one thing in mind: what was needed for your sponsor. Is it a price issue? Is it you want to get to the market faster? Do you need to use a specific type of system because what they're limited to? So all those things you guys kept in mind. So that's great thinking, out of the box thinking that you've learned over the years. So I talked about coming back to New Jersey. I just want to add that when I came and started my first job at Spectrum Systems as the network guy, and I learned almost everything. Being in a small company helped me learn faster because I had to do whatever it takes to get it done, because that's what I was told, that learn it, show us what we need to do, and guide us to go to the next step. And I did, but that was not enough for me. So I took a challenge. I was fortunate enough to start a company myself and one of my friends to do workflow consulting. And that's when I did consulting for Pfizer, Panasonic, and other Fortune 500 companies for workflow automation, business processes. And that's why, as you can see, I do not carry a paper and a pen at all. Carry anything that's electronic media. I believe in paperless solutions. And while I was had my own company, believe it or not, that's when I was really thinking about how Devry help me to open up a company. What does that mean to me? Oh, they taught me what I have to do on the software side. Accounting was very important at that time because I had to make money to stay afloat. So even though accounting was not my favorite, it became very favorite very quickly when I had my own company. So you have to worry about those things, right? So it tells you that don't take anything for granted what you learned here. You won't know, you may not know or believe it right now when you graduate, but you will realize that in 2 years down the road, 4 years down the road, or 10 years down the road, something that helped you while you learned here. While I had a company, and what happened is IMM, where I'm at right now as Chief Technology Officer, they were one of my customers, and decided to join them and said, oh, why don't you lead our technology division? And I did. And I jumped into both feet and said, you know what, this is a great challenge for me to have a big team. And from a two-man team to having 15, 20 people was important at that time. And I was the 12th employee. As of today, we are 55, a New Jersey-based company. So I'm glad I'm still in the state and in New Jersey, so it's great. And we, in IMM, paperless office solutions. So what does that mean? We service to financial institutions, banks, credit unions, to automate their business processes. So imagine a banking core software. When you go do a transaction at a bank or a credit union, and all the information that's paper, we automate that whole thing electronically, including signature capture, no matter if it's in-branch, web, mobile, and going to their document management system. So there is no paper process for the institution, and it's of course paperless. But for the customer walking in, if they still need to have paper, they can. Most of them say, no, you know what? I don't need a paper anymore. I can get it online electronically. That's what our software allows us to do. So, and while I'm learning, doing the architecture at IMM, I surrounded myself with a great team from business analyst to, of course, the development team, the QA, the training, the documentation group, and we collaborate together to make sure the product that goes out to the market is solid. Being a small company, 55 employees, over 600 customers, we only receive about 100 calls a week with the amount of products that we have in the market. And that's what I learned here, how to make sure that when we create a product from our systems analysis class and all the rest of the classes, I'm not just going to single out one class, but all the different places, how we can make the product better in the industry that we're in. Lastly, I'm going to give you some insights where I see what's happening in the technologies that's around us right now, and where I see the trend going. Mobile development, mobile technologies is huge. Everybody has an iPhone or Droid Pro or something, smartphone, and so, or iPads, and so mobile development we see going forward a huge in the technology. Cloud-based services, cloud-based software. How many of you know Salesforce.com? So that's completely a cloud-based software. So it's on the internet. Don't have to worry about anything downloading. How many of you use Google Docs? Completely cloud-based. Microsoft just came out on their Hotmail. Now it's Microsoft Office embedded on in their cloud services. So as you can see, the trend has already begun. Actually, it's migrating. Not begun, it's migrating. So our software is migrating as well. So that's one of the trends that's happening. Another trend that we're seeing is security. Being in financial market or healthcare, insurance, the privacy acts, worrying about all the data that's being now on the cloud. What do you do with it? So the security infrastructure, as well as the web development, all those things is growing. And we are now, as you can imagine, everybody's familiar with that. Hey, I'm going to offshore certain things. It's true. We are in a truly global market. And when that happens, well, what do? And that's one thing that I'm proud to say, that what you're learning here and what I learned at DeVry is going to maintain for you the jobs that you're going to be doing very shortly, which is project management or business analyst, because we are the leaders in the world here in the United States for every new technology that's coming out. Right? So we want to make sure that how do we keep those jobs here? And this is a start at DeVry. Couple things that I can talk about is, just to give you an advice, learn to balance yourself from a technical side as well as business needs. So understand both sides. And if you do that, you will be actually ahead of your competition. And I don't think any other colleges can say that. And from what you're learning, you're already ahead of that in that world. In summary, I'd like to congratulate each one of you for showcasing your senior project. It's fabulous. I gotta tell you, like I said, it's amazing, and what I saw. It's a great job, and please thank every professor that's touched you, and staff and whoever else that you can think of that has helped you get here and what you're about to do in the real world. So thank you, and have a great day and showcasing your project. One more thing, one producer behind me. I was told, make sure so. And if you have questions, I'll be here. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Nish. As he said, lunch is served. Bon appetit.